Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all my patrons. My name's Neil, and it's time for a special episode of Lost. Guys, we are 5 seasons down, just a single season to go. Before we jump into season 6, I wanted to take a reaction to a little bonus content from the season 5 box set called Mysteries of the Universe, which may explain a little bit more about the Dharma Initiative. I'm looking forward to it. Had a lot of fun with previous reactions like this when we got to check out Missing Pieces and the Conspiracy of Lies video. I'm just looking forward to a fun half hour here. I've just finished watching the season 5 finale. It's still a little fresh in my mind, so I'm not going to expound on my thoughts any further. You'll have to wait for the premiere of season 6 for that. But I just want to reiterate how excellent an episode I thought the season 5 finale was. I mean, let's face it, all the Lost season finales are peak television. There's so much going on, so many new reveals. But what I find really fascinating about this most recent one is I really have no idea what's going to happen in season 6. I have no idea what world we exist in. Like, typically when you reach that season finale, yes, you're opening up new doors, you're answering questions, you're asking new questions, but you have a sense of where everybody is at the start of the season. Now we don't even know whether this cycle on the island has been broken or not. We don't know if 815 is even going to crash. We don't know if the last 3 years of their lives will have been wiped out. It's all up in the air, so I find that super fascinating. But let's leave that for a further discussion down the road, and let's watch Mysteries of the Universe. Following is an episode of a short-lived television series from the 80s. The topics explored may be of particular interest to fans of Lost. Oh, it's like straight from my VCR.
They look like us. They talk like us. They walk among us. Yet they are not us. Ever since the dawn of civilization, secret societies have existed. What do they know that we don't? And why do they exist? Infiltrating every corner of our society. An assembly that spreads in our ignorance. The scope of their power is unbeknownst to even the most intelligent minds of our time.
I love the fun, the production value they've had here.
Are these groups here to protect us, or do they have evil intentions far beyond our darkest nightmares? Mind control, secret weapons, intelligence sharing with otherworldly beings, and clandestine eavesdropping of our most intimate communication. Organizations like the Freemasons and the Skull and Bones existed in complete secrecy for many years. But perhaps there is another organization, one that has yet to be classified, one that exists only under the dark veil of secrecy. You may have seen an octagonal seal or crest with the word Dharma in the center. The word itself, an Indian spiritual term, this is their mark. Why do they exist, and what are they here for? Any clandestine organization of significant stature cannot exist in complete secrecy forever. It is perhaps by piecing these minuscule clues together, one by one, that we start to solve the puzzle. Join us in this Mysteries of the Universe, the Dharma Initiative.
This is so on point for 80s television. I love it. It's like Robert Stack in Unsolved Mysteries.
Outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, 1978. A University of Las Vegas college student purchases a jumpsuit for a costume party at a local thrift store. He attends the party dressed as a janitor. During the course of the evening, he is photographed for the college newspaper. 3 weeks later, a mysterious knock sounds at the door of his fraternity house. Two men begin to ask a series of detailed questions to the student in regard to the origin of his costume. The only distinguishing feature of this garment is this logo, a curiously shaped octagon with the word Dharma in the middle. What or who is
Delta
the Dharma
Theta
Initiative?
Sigma.
Aliens,
Or is it Delta Phi
flying
Sigma?
saucers, abductions.
It says lost.
Some claim that the area is a veritable hotbed of extraterrestrial activity known as Area 51. Could the proximity of this incident in relation to Area 51 be a link to an answer?
Probably not.
Those that work there, or claim to work there, are said to vanish for long periods of time. In the following interview, we speak with someone who claims that his neighbor vanished after completing a job interview with a mysterious group.
My neighbor Phil was looking for a job. He said he was on round
Security.
5 of an interview for this group out in Michigan. Phil said they had him taking all sorts of weird head exams, like ink blots, and just kind of random exams like that. He said something about going back for the last interview, and then I never saw the guy again. Someone came, sold his house, took his car, even took his dog. His girlfriend didn't even know. I called the police. They said they would investigate. It was a year ago. The guy's gone.
Cases like this are not unique. The United States
Well,
is
he's
riddled
dead
with
now.
stories. There are 4 common traits of the job postings. This graphic watermark, almost without fail, after accepting the position, the applicant disappears. Why would a job opening for a car mechanic require 5 interviews? Why does a janitor position involve psychological testing? Why do these people leave without explanation? Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
A grade school teacher named Olivia. Her family and friends said she applied for a teaching position, interviewed heavily for the job, and then left without a trace.
She was the one teaching Ben, wasn't she?
Her parents were recently interviewed.
Just left one day. Disappeared. And I haven't heard from her since. I mean, she's gone.
Note the graphic seal in the upper right corner of this preliminary job application. It matches the one on the jumpsuit and job posting. Often used in these interviews is the Rorschach test. This test is used with the psychiatric community to assist in determining a person's mental state. It is also often used on the criminally insane. Here is a list of questions we found for an interview. Why should a veterinarian be profiled in the same manner as a psychotic killer? If someone or some group is putting this much effort into interviews, then exactly what type of organization is this? An ever-expanding table, and the place setting is serving up mystery.
Mystery. I love this because it's bad, but it's bad on purpose.
This
It's
church in Los Angeles has
intentionally crap
always been
television.
regarded as a sanctuary for the mind and spirit. Mysteries of the Universe has discovered that this church has quite a large collection basket, upward of $1.5 million from a private organization. We have found hundreds of invoices for enough supplies to sustain a colony for quite some time. Strange requests and purchase orders that cover the most unusual spectrum of mystery. 1.4 tons of seeds, ammunition for M1 carbines, zookeeper supplies, electromagnetic coils and Tesla coils, psychotropic drugs, and soft restraints. Ostensibly, the church is responsible for the procurement of these strange wares. Furthermore, a stunning discovery is that the church does not own the very land it sits on. Research into the landowner's name has led our intrepid team to discover a dizzying
Charles
array of
Whitmore?
shell companies. Our investigation
Hanso?
brought us to this man. He too claims he was interrogated by the Dharma Initiative.
I am a behavioral psychologist with a strong background in pharmacology. The interviews were intense. They asked me questions about every facet of my job, everything I've ever learned, or drug reactions, side effects, even things we were still researching, classified research, mind you,
Well, I see.
Politico, etc.
Some believe this may be called brainwashing.
Jacob loves you.
If you crossed the line, I thought it was a cult. Not religious, but certainly have the same feel and actions of a cult.
Submarine fuel. What type of organization would maintain and operate a submarine fleet? The only time a submarine is used for clandestine purposes and operations is to sneak in and out of contested waters under the cover of liquid night. During World War II, submarines were regularly used for transport to the South Pacific, not suitable for large ships. Many of these vessels were lost at sea. Our mysteries researchers have found a strong link between the Dharma Initiative and what could be a larger, more powerful force working behind the scenes, spearheaded by a man named Alvar Hanso. After the war, Alvar Hanso became the leading purveyor of high-technology armaments to NATO. However, before the war, Alvar Hanso attended the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. There he lived with a family, the DeGroots, and developed an affinity for the local area. At that time, this man, Gerald DeGroot, was 8 years old. Curiously, when our research team tried to uncover DeGroot's college records, they found them to be expunged, erased from existence. We suspect the families stayed in touch over the years. Then, when Gerald was a graduate student in his search of financial backing for his project, the Dharma Initiative, he contacted his family friend, Alvar Hanso, for funding. Who exactly is Gerald DeGroot? We tried to investigate further into the DeGroot-Hanso connection, but were stymied at every turn.
Every turn. Stymied.
But we're barred from entry. Barred from the truth.
Barred from the truth. It's such terrible TV. I love it, because they did it on purpose, just like this.
When conjecture, half-truths, and myths are pieced together, it stops being science fiction and becomes science fact. Be vigilant. Be aware. A village on the Isle of Tonga, the sudden recipient of a 1-ton airdropped food pallet. The smoking gun, again, the octagonal logo on a field of white. Every single foodstuff is labeled in this way. Point of origin, unknown. Is the Dharma Initiative located on one of the 169 islands of Tonga? And who would have the means to airdrop pallets of food or weapons? By land, by air, or by sea. He would have the knowledge and armada to create a supply line to an outlying post of secrecy. Volunteers and test subjects are needed for an anthropology experiment that would require entire semesters abroad in a tropical locale. The person in charge? Gerald DeGroot, the graduate student who seems to have unlimited funding. Mysteries of the Universe believes the Dharma Initiative is behind this educational experience. Chances are a similar instance may occur near you.
Chances are.
Look for these 2 clues. The octagonal logo. We have found these 4 variations, but the possibility remains that there may be more.
Oh, there
These
are.
lines surrounding the logo appear
Hydra,
to be oriental
arrow,
in nature,
swan.
perhaps communist
What's
China.
the second one on the
2.
bottom?
Job postings and openings for specialized positions that require the same testing of the criminally insane. This organization exists. Purpose? Unknown. We know its roots start with this man, Gerald DeGroot, and his benefactor, Alvar Hanso. We know it is recruiting for new members, and we know it wishes to remain shrouded in secrecy. Update. Since the original air date of this production, Mysteries of the Universe has uncovered startling new information. Our investigative team has discovered that she has reappeared.
Hello, may I speak to Olivia, please?
This is she.
This is Mysteries of the Universe.
Several days later.
During my absence, I was performing research in the South Pacific. I no longer wish to be contacted regarding this matter. Thank you.
Once again, the South Pacific appears
Simple
as a
cover
character
story,
in this
but
ongoing investigation. Did Olivia return at just the right time to save her life? This is a symbol that dates back to the ancient Orient. Each side of the octagon represents opponents. One could stand in the middle of the octagon and be protected from all sides. Much like the rest of the Dharma Initiative, further information on the meaning of these symbols is shrouded in secrecy. One final missive from the unknown. We have a report on the church. Several staff members have mysteriously disappeared. They were reported missing but never found. close analysis of the church's waste receptacles revealed this. A partially destroyed document with a charred logo similar to the other logos. But this one had a lamp in the center. Coincidence?
Lamppost.
General manager of the church is named Eloise Hawking. However, she has refused several requests for an interview. Miss Hawking apparently does not have an official birth certificate, but she is listed as the mother on the birth certificate of one Daniel Faraday. As to why they have two different last names, especially when no father is listed on the certificate, is yet another mystery.
Faraday was a known scientist in the 80s, but Stephen Hawking didn't become prominent until the 90s, I think. So was Eloise born
One
on the
day,
island
final chapter of
and
this
sent
story
to
will be
manage
written, and the book will be closed.
Lamppost?
Will this enigma eventually be pushed or forced into the light of truth? Only time will tell the ultimate fate of this Mysteries of the Universe.
That was great. Primarily because of how crap it was. That felt absolutely like a mid-80s TV show. There was a lot of stuff, like it feels like an Unsolved Mysteries. Really not a ton of like legitimate content, and yet there's some hidden truths in there. We did actually learn a few things though. It sounds to me like that Eloise was. Let me think here. This is actually making me think for a second, and I'm not sure we'll ever get the answer. But okay, when Eloise shot Daniel in the variable, she was pregnant with Daniel. Now I don't know how much longer she spent on the island, but based on the nosebleed chronology that we learned this season, my theory has always been that Daniel has never been on the island before. So that would make me think she leaves shortly after. Also, if there's going to be a birth certificate with Daniel's name, it would make sense that she gave birth off island, but no father listed. And then at the time of the filming of this special, call it mid-80s, actually during their update within the episode, she's appointed manager of the church, which is Lighthouse Station. And Hanso owns the land the church is built on. Now this is the weird part. Like, she's an other on the island. But then she becomes part of the Dharma Initiative, working for Hanso by the mid-80s. So something happened between 77, when she shot her son, and 85, call it, when she started working at Lamppost, to send her from the others to the DI. Okay. Hanso and the DeGroots have a much more personal relationship than we may have been led to believe way back in season 2 with Orientation. Back then we were just told that he funded the Dharma Initiative, but now it seems that he lived with a young DeGroot back in, I guess, what would have been the late 50s, early 60s in Ann Arbor, considering DeGroot was a grad student at the University of Michigan in the early 70s. Yeah. So there's some fun new info there. The rest of it's just speculation. I love the idea that the Dharma Initiative every so often gets a food drop wrong and hits the wrong island. That seems crazy, but okay. And we get a little backstory about Phil's job interview and the blonde teacher. She was the one that was teaching. Now, was she the one teaching Ben when he first arrived? It feels like If she was just gone for 3 years more recent, like in the 80s, then it wasn't. Then she's somebody else. Because Ben arrived in the early 60s. Early 70s. 35 years he's been on the island. We just learned that. He put a number to it. And if it's then call it 2007, 2008. I'm still fighting for 2008, but you guys with the official chronology, I know there's an official chronology out there, but there's no way I'm looking at it until I'm finished watching everything, because I'm sure there will be spoilers on it. But 35 years takes us back to 72, 73. Late 72, early 73. So that's when Ben arrived on the island with his dad. It almost feels like Mysteries of the Universe was a real show. That's how accurate this feels as far as like the level of production and narration and stock footage and all the rest of it. It just feels like it. What I love is the video is like it's been recorded to VHS tape without the commercials. Like it's somebody took the time to record it, put it on VHS, and it's being distributed and kept around like that, which is fun. It's just fun. I would have loved to have been part of these sort of like side projects on Lost. Like keep me on year round, and I'll put me and a couple other people behind, on the job for something like this. It could be a blast. But thank you guys. I have fun with these. I have so much fun with Lost. Now that we're approaching our final season, I'm realizing I don't want the show to end, and I don't want to say goodbye to the show. So I will be doing additional content once we finish season 6. I'm going to be doing... I already know I'm going to do a lot of like my own content as far as like my top 10 lists, character rankings, all of this sort of thing. So that'll be fun. It'll be a different style of reaction. It won't be reaction. So it'll be something a little new for me, a different type of project, a different type of content for the channel. So there may be a bit of a learning curve there. I don't know why I'm apologizing for it months in advance, but just so you know where my head's at. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into that, because this show really has been a ton of fun, and I love the community that I found here and that I'm building here on the channel with all of you. If there's any other bonus Lost content out there that you would like to see me eventually react to, please let me know. I know that there is something out there, I think it's called Lost Explained, which is like somebody else's channel, and they did like 30 episodes of all sorts of aspects of Lost. Some people have asked that I react to that. I'll certainly consider it if enough of you are interested. But in any case, thank you guys so much for spending a little time with me today. I'm looking forward to jumping into season 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss that. It'll be coming in just a couple of days. So until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.